So, today I'm going to show you guys what every button does, really. So, if you go into your PROCREATE app, you can see all your gallery pieces and all your canvases that you did, like all mine. So, in the top right corner, you might see what's new, which will be blue. You'll see select, import, and photo, and also a plus sign button. The plus sign button allows you to make a new canvas so that you can draw on it. The photo button allows you to import some of your photos that maybe you want to trace or you want to use as a reference. Import, you can actually import some of your things that you saved onto here and that maybe were in your drive. Select. You can select many different things and maybe stack them or delete them, duplicate them, or preview them. So, stack is like you choose some of your artworks and then you press stack here. Now you can see that I have some canvases right here. And if you press on them, they're all together in like a folder. Preview allows you to actually see it better and not just on the screen. Duplicate means that you can double it and now have another copy. And delete obviously means you delete it. You delete your artwork. Just like how I am going to delete all these white canvases that I do not really need. Delete. Okay, so let's add a new canvas by clicking the plus sign, and let's add a screen size. Okay, just needed to check. So, now that I have my screen sized canvas, I'm going to show you what each of these buttons do. So gallery lets you go back to your gallery of nice artworks. This wrench has many different buttons. So you can actually add and insert a photo, take a photo, insert a file, add text, cut something, copy it, or copy a canvas, or even paste once you copied it. Canvas allows you to crop it and make it bigger and smaller. Animation assist is like, I can show you here. You just have an animation just like how you have it in slides. You can add an animation of it, of it fading, sliding right, sliding left, coming down from top. It's like all that. Page assist. Well, you can kind of like add a new page, but I don't really use that button that much. So, yeah. Drawing guide. You can see that below drawing guide is edit drawing guide. If you press on it, you can click edit drawing guide. You can either have a 2D grid, this, which is like a bunch of triangles, or if you want diamonds. Perspective is to create a vanishing point wherever you want. Symmetry is so that you only can draw on one side and it will copy whatever you do on the other side. But you want to make sure that you have a square canvas. That is the best. Okay, let's go back to 2D grid. And I'm going to turn on drawing guide. So reference. You can actually have a reference photo so that you can copy it. We'll like use it as an inspirational thing. Flip horizontal. You can flip your canvas horizontal, flip vertical. You can flip it vertical. Canvas information. Just gives you some canvas information about like what size it is and everything like that. Okay, next, let's go into the right corner. We have a brush button, which is highlighted blue right now, that will allow you to paint. And if you click on it, you can get many different types of textures and many brushes and maybe even pencils, like sketching pencils. Yeah. Okay, next is this. It's basically a finger pointer. It allows you to smudge it. It's kind of like blurring it, but not quite. Next, I have an eraser. So if I don't like what I drew, I can erase it. And I have this, which looks like two files. And it's actually a layers button. So if you want to add a layer, you press this plus sign. And if you're like tracing, you can remove a layer and rename a layer. So that if you want something else, maybe, you can add it or remove it. Okay, so then we have a color wheel. So you can choose many different palettes and colors. Here in the bottom, you have classic, harmony, value, and palettes. So you can choose from any one of those. Okay, next let's go into the left side. You can see that we have a little scroll wheel that says size when you hold it. When you hold this gray little rectangle, you can see size and a plus sign. So the size makes your brush go bigger. Some brushes just have very thin, so the biggest you can get is that. So this little square button here allows you to go to that color that maybe you already used but don't know how to get it back. So like if I love this color so much, this color so much, but then I went to a different color, and I don't know how to find that again, I can click this square and go to pink. So next is this little, it looks the same as this top one that makes your size very huge. This one changes your opacity, which is how clear it is. It's like if it's transparent or something. So I'm gonna erase all of this. Okay, so right now it's very bold, but I can change the opacity, and now it looks lighter if I make it smaller. Lighter. See? Now it's a pretty pink. If I can go even lighter, it's even lighter. And if I go bold again, it's very bold. So it's nice. You got different shades of it. Okay, next, we can see this little curvy line with the top of an arrow. So if we press it, it's an undo button. So you undo what you just did. But the thing is, if you go back to gallery and come back in, you cannot undo it. You have to erase it. Which is a little inconvenient, but that's just what it is. So I can erase what I just did. But the sometimes I go here, don't like it, and I accidentally go to gallery. You can see that these two faint undo buttons are just like I can't undo it. So yeah, so you make sure that you do it when you're in it if you want to undo. Just keep that in mind. So next, we didn't really go through these that much. So you can share your thing as a PSD, PDF, JPEG, PNG, TIFF. They're all different, so depending on what you did, you can save images, whatever you want. You can also share layers. So let's go to video now. Video, you can time-lapse replay whatever you just did if you wanted to see how you did it. Export time-lapse video, you gotta export it to anything. Prefs. So there's just many options that you can have. It really doesn't matter what you have on because depending on what artwork you're doing. So yeah, help, you get help. The PROCREATE app will show you what everything does. So okay, next is this little magic wand with some shimmer on it, and that's actually adjustments. So yeah, the first one I don't really know what it is because I don't use it much, but we can do some more research on that. Color balance. So it balances out your color so that it's not bold or anything really. So yeah, it's like just the right amount of opacity. Curves. Well, you can see at the bottom really what it is. So, but I don't really use this, so maybe I can do more research on that as well. Gradient map, I don't really know. Gaussian blur. Let me add more colors first before I show you what that is, because it is really pretty. Let's add this. Let's add this color. And maybe some of this color. Just adding some colors. Okay, I filled my canvas. Now instead of using my little finger pointer to blend it like this, I can use a different brush. We're going to go to Gaussian blur. Again, adjustments, a little magic wand, Gaussian blur. On the top, you see Gaussian blur 0% right now. Slide to adjust. So you don't want it too dark. Like, you don't want it at 100. You want 30 to 50% of Gaussian blur, or else it will either get too dark or it won't even blend that much. I'm going to choose 37%. It's perfect. It looks beautiful. That's what Gaussian blur does. It's just a blur, but a really nice one. So, motion blur. The same for now, but let's see. I'm going to go into this one. I kind of motion blurred this, and now I can't undo it. Motion blur, it's like, you see how it's kind of blending? Oh, that's too much. See? That's motion blur. I can't really explain it because I don't know how to explain it. Okay, let's go back to our canvas. Okay, so perspective blur, it's a blur that comes out like in a perspective type of way. I don't really know how to explain this. Noise, sharpen, bloom, glitch, halftone, chromatic aberration is basically many options that will affect your canvas and it will do something. I don't want to spoil it. It's really cool. So yeah. You guys can go check that out. Next is an S. You might see that I'm making the circles right now. And they're getting filled in with pink. I actually have ellipse on in color fill. So yeah. That ellipse is like when it's perfect shaped or perfected. Color fill is you can just color fill it and you don't have to color it. Rectangle. Oh, not feather. Rectangle. You get a rectangle. Freehand. You can just draw it and maybe color fill it. Wow. Automatic. It automatically saves and loads it. Color fills it, clears it, feathers, copy and paste, or invert. So if whatever you have on, it will just do that automatically. Okay. So this, yeah. It literally just did that. So that what I just did was this little mouse, and it just highlights your whole entire canvas, which lets you move around your stuff. Thank you. Move around whatever you highlighted. So now I have it like this again. Yeah, so if you don't like it there, you can use this. You can use that tool. Okay, let's go back to gallery. And now we can name stuff. So if you see untitled artwork right here, right under my canvas that I just did, we can see. And if we tap it, it brings us to our keyboard. So we can just say blur. And you can name it whatever you want. Oh, it turned out blue. So, blur. Okay. So yeah, you can just name it whatever you want. Again, this square, you can bring it to here and color fill. Great. Okay. If you forgot what color fill is, you just drag the color that you want to wherever you want, and it will color your whole background or whatever. So, those are all the options buttons that you have in Procreate. Hope you enjoyed.